They're visible? All. So before we begin this spiritual discussion, we'll offer short prayers. You can try to repeat after me this. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So today you might be, some of you came little early or be little surprised with the celebration. So just like we have Janmashtami, Ramanavami, right? This is different days of celebration spiritually for the appearance of Lord. So there is also, in our tradition there is a festival called Nityananda Tradition, which is today we are celebrating. So we had the celebration before and now starting this session. So there was a little, we got a little delay. So sorry for that. So we'll begin now today our session. Discover Inner Self. That is the title of today's session, which we were discussing half of it. So those who came last time, we started our discussion with what are, or rather I would say, how is human birth special? How are we different than animals? Are we special? Are we different? Are we better? Is the human life better than animal life? Yes? Right? Doubtful? No. Okay. So what is the speciality of animals? And what is the speciality of human beings? What are the 4 activities common between animals and humans? Yes, raise hand please. Yes. Eating, sleeping, good too. Then yes. Meeting, that is enjoyment, and defending. So we saw these 4 activities are same. It is common between animals and humans. Animals eat, we also eat. Sleeping, also common. So what is the special thing between humans, with humans? We discussed it, elaborate. What was it? Those who remember? Raise hand please. I don't know who's speaking. Yes, behind? Dharma. Dharma you said? Karma. I can hear. A or D? I don't know. D. Dharma. But what is that dharma? Are we talking about religion? Muslim, Hindu, Islam, Christian? These are all external actually. We have an innate nature. See, like sugar. What is the dharma of sugar? Sugar is not living. Sugar has a dharma. Everything has a dharma. What is dharma of sugar? To be sweet. Some quality which cannot be separated from that substance. If you separate that quality, then that substance doesn't remain that substance. Like if I can't, today we had a very chilly sugar, a very hot sugar. Hot sugar cannot be. Sugar has to be sweet. That means sugar's dharma is to be sweet. Water. What is dharma of water? No, I'm talking something else. What is the dharma of water? Hmm? To quench thirst, okay? To be liquid. If it becomes solid, it becomes ice. It becomes vapor, it becomes water vapor. So dharma of water, dharma of anything for that matter you take, like chili. If you have sweet chili, it's not chili actually. You say, "Arey kya hai ye?" Popcorn. It's not chili anymore, right? So we say like that sometimes. It is not hot, it's spicy. So there's innate quality of something. So for us, we were discussing last time, we have soul. We are not this body. That also we discussed. So what is the dharma of soul is what we are talking about here. That dharma is to inquire and to love and serve. We are going to talk about it. But here we saw to inquire about the higher realities of life. What are the higher realities? What are the higher questions which only human can ask, but animals cannot ask and understand? Who am I? Yes. Who am I? Am I this body only, or do I have an existence beyond this? क्या मैं सिर्फ शरीर हूँ क्या? कि मैं आत्मा हूँ? और क्या मैं भटकती आत्मा हूँ? Last time नहीं, भटकती आत्मा एक अलग चीज है. Atma, soul is what we are. Last time we discussed. Okay, so I'll quickly run through some slides because there are few of guests who are new. They were not there last time. So we saw that last time. I'll quickly rush through this. What everyone is looking for in this world is happiness. And we derive that happiness generally from 4 activities. Now, there are many ways people they derive, but the basic activities are eating, sleeping, enjoyment, mating, and defending. But then we saw these activities are common between animals also. Even animals are doing that. Then, then what is the speciality of human beings? We saw how we discussed elaborately these things. Then we saw that whether animals don't have intelligence, you may say intelligence. No, they also have intelligence. But animals also use their intelligence for these 4 activities only: eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Now, if human beings also use their special intelligence for these 4 things, then we are also just being similar. So then we quoted a very important verse from Mahabharata. This is that verse. We'll repeat this again today. You try to repeat. Ahara nidra bhayamaithunam cha सामान्यमेतत् पशुभिः नराणाम् धर्मो हि तेषाम् अधिको विशेषो धर्मेण हि न पशुभिः समानः. So we saw that ahara nidra bhayamaithunam cha common, but what is speciality? Dharma. And what is that dharma? The dharma is we can inquire about higher principles, life, death, beyond, and we can make right choices in life. Animals act out of instinct. They are programmed in one sense. Have you ever seen tiger eating grass? Have you ever seen a elephant killing a deer and eating? They're programmed by nature and they behave accordingly. There is not much choice in animal life. It's only human birth where we have choice. And that's why we are given higher intelligence. It is said when you have higher facility, you also have higher responsibility, right? अगर कंपनी आपको ज्यादा फैसिलिटी दे रहा है तो आपको रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी भी ज्यादा मिलेगा. सिमिलरली ह्यूमन बींग्स, ऑल ऑफ अस, जो ये मनुष्य शरीर है, इसमें हमें ज्यादा बुद्धि दी है भगवान ने, सुपेरियर इंटेलिजेंस. क्यों दी है? सिर्फ ईटिंग, स्लीपिंग, मीटिंग के लिए नहीं. वो तो एनिमल्स भी करते हैं, हमसे अच्छा करते हैं, हमने लास्ट टाइम देखा है ना. तो हमको ये बुद्धि क्यों दी है? Why are we given superior intelligence? To inquire about higher things in life which animal life cannot do. Is it clear? We discussed last time, you remember. Now we came to a point कि ठीक है, फिर ये higher inquiry कहां से शुरू होता है? ये चालू होता है एक बहुत fundamental question से. Who am I?
मैं कौन हूं, ये बहुत बेसिक है कि नहीं? आप बोलेंगे हमारा इतना उम्र हो गया, वी आर मोस्ट ऑफ यू माइट बी 30s or 40s, now you are going to teach me who am I know. So last time we saw some logic, we have been talking about something common sense, but we never thought about it deeply. Can you recollect? To prove the existence of soul, we saw some common logic, logical day to day life. We speak something, what do we say? I give example, my body, right? हम जैसे बोलते हैं माई मोबाइल, यानी क्या है? मोबाइल सेपरेट है, मैं सेपरेट हूं, मैंने परचेस किया तो ये मेरा मोबाइल हो गया। एम आई मोबाइल? मैं मोबाइल नहीं हूं, मैं मेरा मोबाइल है। हिंदी ठीक है ना सबको? थोड़ा थोड़ा बीच में इंग्लिश, लास्ट टाइम मुझे कोई बोला था कि इंग्लिश में बोलो प्रभु थोड़ा प्योर इंग्लिश नहीं चाहिए, इंग्लिश चाहिए, तो ठीक है थोड़ा इंग्लिश, हिंदी और इंग्लिश तेलुगु आई डोंट नो तो आई कांट, ओनली आई नो चपंडी, दैट्स ऑल one word that's all, my vocabulary ends there that's it. So I'm from other part of India. So so mobile is different, I am different, I purchase it, belong to me, you have your mobile, so it is your mobile. वैसे ही हम शरीर के लिए क्या कहते हैं? What for body is my body, that means I am different, right? So when we say this I, what is that I-ness? जब हम थोड़ा ये सोचने की चीज है, आपको थोड़ा इस पे ऊपर सच कि आई से आई सी दिस ब्यूटीफुल डेकोरेशन फ्लावर का, वो इज सीइंग, इज द आई सीइंग? आई मींस ये आई, ई वाई आई, ये तो नॉन लिविंग है। अगर ये आईज को निकाल दिया, कैन दे सी? ये तो मटेरियल है ना, तो कौन देख रहा है? When I say I hear, I am, and when I hear something, I get emotions also. If I hear a nice song, we feel nice, no? We get feelings. Who is that who is experiencing? Is the ear experiencing? ये तो नॉन लिविंग है एक्चुअली, तो लाइफ कहां से आता है? सोल हमका हो गया लास्ट टाइम ठीक है। सो वी वर डिस्कसिंग दैट, देन इट भगवद गीता's knowledge starts with this point. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Shri Krishna tells Arjuna that this is the fundamental knowledge, most fundamental. You are not this body. जो शरीर है ना, हम लोग जो मिरर में देखते हैं, जो शरीर हम जिसको समझ रहे हैं कि हम है, actually you are not that. It is like a dress. You are soul sitting within this body, and this is like dress, soul, the body. We are Atma. So this is what we last time saw. Okay, so we'll move ahead. Who am I? We saw this. What happens? We saw how Arjun, when he got this knowledge, he became so confident. So we are today also we are going to discuss what immediate benefit we will get by knowing this knowledge. Today in the session we'll cover that. Okay, then rush ahead when we saw all these things. Okay, we saw the difference between body and soul, right? And then we saw materialistic point of view and spiritual point of view. So then we saw some scientific proofs of soul's existence. Anybody can recollect? Is there you can recollect, some of you? Reincarnation means past life memories, again taking birth. Now we saw one video of that pilot, small kid remembering, so that is one proof. Okay, we are going to talk about it a little more today. Any other thing you recollect? Yes, you were there last time, beta? No, he was not there. Anyone else? Any more thing you recollect? Harry, you were not there. Okay, somewhere else here. What is that?
He was treating his sister, even though his sister was like a really old lady.
The pilot story. हाँ, that is same thing. Reincarnation का एग्जाम्पल था वो, और कुछ some more things we saw. एक वो हो गया, और दूसरा yes sir.
We saw some people experiences their soul outside, especially during
correct.
medical treatment.
Very good. What is it called as? Near death experience, NDE, near death experience. Many people are documented कि they were actually medically in coma or medically unconscious, but they were able to recollect every small detail. And we gave example last time. So what is that? Science is still figuring out. There is no proper explanation. That is one thing. Very nice. Thank you so much. One more thing I later spoke about. Okay, I spoke about phobia. You know, this phobia, some unnatural, unexplainable, unlogical fear people have. Phobia सुना है आपने? No, कोई पानी का phobia है, कोई height का किसी को phobia होता है. I think some movies also made, so it's famous. But कैसे ये phobia क्यों आया? Then I explained. The only logical explanation is, you know, there is a life before where the person had some experience. So like that, we saw a few um, examples, right? Few. Then also this consciousness mystery we were discussing, right? Consciousness means to be aware, thinking, feeling, and willing. A machine like this camera is also recording the session. You all are also able to see me, right? Similarly, the camera is also seeing. But is there a difference between all of you are seeing and the camera seeing? You are experiencing some emotions. If I say some joke, you laugh. You will experience, you know, sometimes you become serious, sometimes you are. Is the camera experiencing any emotions? यहाँ पे तो ठीक है, but let's say cricket match is going on. Cricket is India's religion. So everyone has emotions for it. So let's say Sachin, then I don't know who is Kohli nowadays or what, I don't know, current ones. If he hits a sixer, a player hits a sixer, the audience will jump. They will experience a great happiness. The camera is also recording. Will the camera experience? No. So we are not just complicated machines. See, science tells us this human body is a very complex machine. It is, but that's not the only reality. We are something beyond it. A complex machine cannot have consciousness. That's the problem. And they are trying to figure out. They said now artificial intelligence, now we'll make humanoids, robots, this, that. But they are still not able to figure out ये consciousness कहाँ से आता है, ये feeling कहाँ से आता है, what chemical do you put, what machines, what program. It's still a mystery. It's one of the greatest mystery. I'll tell you one simple experiment which was done by one Russian scientist. Not going to the details of it. I'm just very, briefly I'll explain. You know what he did? ये साइंटिस्ट ने क्या किया, एक व्यक्ति को बिठाया, कॉम्प्लिकेटेड उसने मशीन्स बनाया, and to the brain neuron, because many people feel, oh, it is brain which is giving consciousness. And then last time I clarified, brain is like the hardware which is running the software. That software is somewhere else. ठीक है? तो उन्होंने क्या किया? This experiment will very nicely give you an idea about it. This scientist, a neurologist, he was a neurologist scientist. He told a person, he connected the brain with a lot of electrodes and everything, and mapping the brain very nicely, complicated thing. And he told the person who was under the subject, बोले you raise your right hand, ऐसा उसको बताया, raise your right hand. उसने right hand ऊपर किया, and this scientist noted कि क्या होता है brain में. So there is one neuron, brain का जो under neuron रहता है, it was activated. He noted that. Then he told the person, you bring your hand down. So he did it. तो उसने देखा कि वो जो एक्टिवेटेड न्यूरॉन था वो डीएक्टिवेट हो गया. देयर आर सम स्मॉल इलेक्ट्रिकल सिग्नल्स. आई होप यू ऑल आर साइंस बैकग्राउंड. मोस्ट ऑफ यू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आई एम सेइंग. साइंस बैकग्राउंड सब है? रेज योर हैंड जो साइंस बैकग्राउंड है. So most of you understand then what I'm saying. Okay. Others also will be able to understand. It's not difficult. तो न्यूरॉन का एक्टिवेट हो गया, डीएक्टिवेट हो गया. एंड देन द साइंटिस्ट आस्क्ड द पर्सन, व्हाट डिड यू डू? तो उसने कहा, आई रेज्ड माय हैंड, एंड देन व्हेन यू टोल्ड मी टू bring it back, I pulled it back. So he said, okay, अच्छा ये हो गया. Then what the scientist did, he artificially activated that neuron by some electrical signal. So as soon as he activated, इसने हाथ ऊपर किया. So then this scientist asked this person, what did you do? What happened? So he said, my hand went up. उसने क्या कहा? My hand went up. So then scientists asked him, did you lift your hand? He said, no, it went up. Then the scientist removed that signal and his hand went down. Again he asked, what happened? He said, my hand went down. Again he asked, did you bring down your hand? He said, no, it went down. Simple experiment, profound, इसका जो inference है बहुत profound है. See what has happened. In second case, the person is saying, I didn't raise. Because the signal was given, hand went up. है ना? And signal was removed, hand went down. अभी ये केस में सिग्नल कौन दे रहा है ब्रेन को? साइंटिस्ट. साइंटिस्ट इज गिविंग द सिग्नल, हैंड ऊपर जा रहा है नीचे जा रहा है. अभी पहले केस में भी ब्रेन को एक्टिवेट हुआ, उस केस में ब्रेन को सिग्नल कौन दे रहा है? See, there is a brain is just an instrument. We are able to see some activity in the brain when when we are doing something, कुछ तो हो रहा है ब्रेन में, लेकिन वो कोई तो कर रहा है. तो ये सेकेंड केस में तो क्लियर है कि वो साइंटिस्ट कर रहा है. पहले केस में कौन कर रहा है? यस, बट वो सेंस ऑर्गन को एक्टिवेशन कौन कर रहा है? जैसे अगर कार खड़ा है, मैंने लास्ट टाइम भी एग्जांपल दिया था, कार को चाबी घुमाएंगे तो इग्नाइट होगा एंड देन कार विल गो अहेड. बट तो चाबी घुमाने का काम तो किसी को करना पड़ेगा ना. नाउ सेंस ऑर्गन्स, आर दे अलाइव? दे हैव लाइफ to activate the motion. I cannot hear you actually. Is there a mic which can go?
सर एनवायरमेंटल फैक्टर वाइज सेंस ऑर्गन्स ऑटोमेटिकली एक्टिवेट हो जाता है. सपोज
अगर ऐसा होता ऑटोमेटिक,
सेल सिग्नलिंग का एक काम है. तो सेल सिग्नलिंग मैसेज देता है, वो तो न्यूरॉन.
करेक्ट. ये हो गया. कैसे होता है?
नर्वस सिस्टम हमारा टोटल बॉडी में, तो एवरी पार्ट्स नर्वस सिस्टम तो न्यूरॉन्स काम करता है ना, वो मैसेज तो जाता है, इसलिए ब्रेन को मैसेज जाता है, ब्रेन एक्टिवेट हो जाता है.
थैंक यू मैडम. देखिए मैं क्या कोशिश कर रहा हूं बताने का. आपको अभी माइक पकड़ के बोलना है. तो अभी पूरा रिसर्च पेपर आप पब्लिश कर सकते हैं कि माइक पकड़ के बात करना इतना कॉम्प्लेक्स प्रोसेस कैसे होता है. मुझे पता है आप बायोलॉजी वाला एक 50 पेज का पेपर लिख सकते हैं आप कि ये न्यूरॉन में ऐसा हुआ, फिर वहां से वो सिग्नल गया ब्रेन को, फिर वो सिग्नल मेरे हाथ को मिला, फिर ये हुआ, फिर मैंने हाथ ऐसा उठाया, फिर माइक ऐसा पकड़ा, बात किया. ये सब सही है, लेकिन ये मैकेनिज्म है. इसमें आप ये बोलते कि मुझे माइक में बोलना था, I wanted to speak in mic, that I who initiated the action. कैसे हुआ ये अलग चीज है. जैसे मुझे यहाँ पे ये फैन अगर चालू करना है, एक पूरा प्रोसेस है. मैं स्विच दबाऊंगा, फिर पावर कनेक्शन होगा, जो मेन पावर आ रहा है वो इसको पावर से सर्किट से जुड़ेगा, फिर उसका यहाँ पे जाएगा पावर. तो ये हम सब बता सकते कि कैसे हो रहा है, लेकिन ये जब होने के पीछे I am there, who is switching on, who wants the fan to be on. You understand what I'm trying to say? Yeah. तो ये मैकेनिज्म है. आप जो कह रहे हैं ना वो करेक्ट है. That is what science tells, how it happens. But science doesn't tell why it happens. As of now, that is consciousness. Why? Like how the solar system, how the universe functions. We have knowledge. We can give motions law, this law, that law. Why the universe functions the way it is, है ना. न्यूट्रॉन इलेक्ट्रॉन भी एटम के अंदर सब कुछ लॉ के तरह चल रहा है ना. न्यूट्रॉन का लॉ है, इलेक्ट्रॉन का लॉ है, प्लैनेट्स का सब लॉ है. देन वी कैन से वी नो द लॉ. हाउ वी नो? व्हाई? दिस इज व्हाट spirituality tells us.
Yeah.
How we exist, science tells us. Why we exist, what is the purpose, science tells us. So the point here is, point here is कि we have an existence beyond just this body. ठीक है, तो आज थोड़ा आगे बढ़ते हैं, नहीं तो फिर इसमें ही डिस्कशन करते रहेंगे. ठीक है. सो ये कॉन्शियसनेस,
finally everything is created by God. Finally
yes. But बट क्या है, इंडिया में हमको सब पता है, लेकिन हमको ये साइंटिफिक अंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं है. हम लोग ये डिस्कस क्यों कर रहे हैं? आपको लगेगा हाँ फाइनली आप यही बोलने वाले हैं कि भगवान है, भगवान ने सब क्रिएट किया है. सही बात है, लेकिन जब हम कोई बड़े बड़े साइंटिस्ट का सुनते हैं ना बात, हम लोग थोड़ा सा बिविल्डर हो जाते हैं. हमको लगता है सच में ये सही है कि माइथोलॉजी है, अपने जो स्क्रिप्चर्स है, ये भगवत गीता भागवत पीछे हमने लगाया, सच में जरूरी है क्या ये सब पढ़ना? आर दे रियली रेलेवेंट नाउ? एंड यू मे योर जनरेशन मे बी बिलीविंग, बट यंग जनरेशन they think they are beyond. ये सब mythology है बेटा. So if you believe in God, most of you will believe, I feel, but we should also be able to defend our belief. है कि नहीं? Scientifically, in the terms of science only. That's why I'm taking science here, so that our faith becomes strong. Otherwise our faith is very fragile. इधर सब लोग, यू आस्क मोस्ट ऑफ द यंग जनरेशन, व्हाई डू यू गो टू टेम्पल? मम्मी पापा ने बोला, मम्मी करते पापा करते बोला था इसलिए. और उनको बोलो कि नहीं, हाँ भगवान वगैरह ऐसे कुछ होता है क्या? मोस्ट ऑफ देम आर पुट टू थॉट, प्रूव मी गॉड इज देयर, देन दे आर नॉट एबल टू आंसर. है कि नहीं? बिकॉज द मॉडर्न एजुकेशन taught us like that. Nobody told us scientifically God's existence. So we have to understand, right? Okay. Okay, let's move ahead. थोड़ा सा लाइट करूं बात को, आप सब लोग टेंशन में आ गए, सीरियस हो गया. एक बार ना एक साधु थे, वो एक ऊपर से पहाड़ पे रहते थे, और ही वॉज ओनली इन दैट केव. तो ये वहां पे एक विलेज था, देयर वाज अ विलेज नियर बाय, एंड दिस विलेजर्स वांटेड दैट साधु जी शुड कम and give us his blessing, give us some pravachan and all, but he would never come out. He was always there. Only साल में एक बार आते थे, वो एक ही दिन आते थे गुफा से बाहर, ये विलेज में आते थे. तो एक वो दिन आ गया जिस दिन साधु जी आ गए बाहर. तो सारे विलेजर्स ने उनको बोला कि साधु जी आप गुफा में ही रहते हैं, आज आ गए तो आज कुछ तो प्रवचन करिए, कुछ तो हमको आशीर्वाद दीजिए, कुछ तो बोलिए. तो साधु क्या बोले, ठीक है. तो उन्होंने ऐसे बैठ गए, बोले हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू बिलीव इन गॉड? ऐसा उन्होंने क्वेश्चन पूछा, हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू, कितने लोग आप बिलीव करते हैं गॉड में? तो सब लोगों ने हाथ ऊपर किया कि अरे साधु महाराज कुछ तो भगवान के बारे में बोलेंगे. सबने हाथ ऊपर किया. तो फिर साधु बोलते हैं, ठीक है, मोस्ट ऑफ ऑल ऑफ यू बिलीव इन गॉड, देन व्हाट शुड आई स्पीक? आई डोंट वांट टू स्पीक एनीथिंग. ही वेंट अवे. फिर सब अरे कुछ बोले ही नहीं साधु. फिर नेक्स्ट ईयर जब वो आए एक साल के बाद, तो सबने डिसाइड करके रखा कि इस बार कोई हाथ नहीं उठाएगा. फिर से साधु को बिठाया, तो उन्होंने बोला कि साधु ने फिर से पूछा, हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू बिलीव इन गॉड? नोबडी रेज्ड हैंड. सबने डिसाइड किया था. तो साधु बोले, नन ऑफ यू बिलीव इन गॉड, व्हाट शुड आई स्पीक? बेटर आई डोंट स्पीक. चले गए. फिर उन्होंने सबने डिसाइड किया क्या करे, साधु महाराज को कैसे? तो नेक्स्ट टाइम उन्होंने डिसाइड किया, आधे लोग हाथ उठाएंगे, आधे नहीं उठाएंगे. तीसरे साल भी साधु जी आए, ये पूछे, हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू बिलीव इन गॉड? आधे लोगों ने हाथ ऊपर किया, आधे लोगों ने नहीं किया. तो साधु महाराज बोले, ठीक है, दोज हु बिलीव इन गॉड should talk to those who don't believe in God. Why should I speak? I go away. And he did not speak. Just a joke. It's not a serious matter. Just to make things lighter. So the point was, we have to know these things. They are very scientific. Our scriptures, our culture is very scientific. And don't trust me, but if you attend these sessions, which will go for a few weeks, we are going to discuss, you will be surprised. जैसे आपने जब लास्ट टाइम वो वीडियो देखा था, some of you, I could see your faces were surprised. My God, we never thought this Punarjanma and everything, scientific. It's actually very surprising. And we have a lot of such things coming up in our sessions. Okay, next. We'll move ahead. So this reincarnation, okay, we saw this story in this video. Okay, so there was one more case. This Dr. Ian Stevenson, jinka naam last time I told you, the scientist who studied this reincarnation cases. There is one famous story. I have, oh my God, I forgot. I'm going to show you a book also today. I forgot in my room. I'll just show you that. So there was one case called as Shukla. So this small girl, almost 8 years old, she would remember, she would say to parents that I am, uh, her name was Minu. She said, my name is Minu. I have a daughter. She would put dolls in a cradle and she would say, she is my daughter. And she would say, I have a husband, unka naam ye hai. And I stay in Bhatpara karke ek place hai, Odisha mein. I stay there. Like that, she would recollect. Then this father of this Shukla, he was in railway. This is an Indian story. So he found out whether there is a place called Bhatpara like this. So he said, yeah, there is a place. And then somehow he contacted some people there and he found out whether this my child is taking somebody's name, koi Chakravarti karke, Amrutlal Chakravarti and all, she would take names. So he said, are there people like this? And he found out actually there are people like this. So he was very surprised. How my small child daughter, she knows about somebody staying 700-800 kilometers in some other part of India. So then they all went to that place. They took that small child along with this. Ian Stevenson was also there, and he has documented that case. So Shukla was a little more than 5. Shri Sen Gupta and 5 other members of his family journeyed with her to Bhatpara. Sen Gupta was her father. When they arrived, Shukla took the lead. When they came to that village, which these parents and all never went, this Shukla said, "Arey, this is my place." She took her to that home. Avoiding various possible wrong turns, Shri brought them straight to the house of Shri Amritlal Chakravarti, allegedly her father-in-law in her past life. And when she went to that home, she was a bit confused. Till there she came, and then she was confused that there is no entry here. There is a wall, and somehow she found the entry. Then when she went inside, everything recollected. She recollected. She recognized every person. And her daughter, when she met Minu, Mana was her name. Her name was Minu. She started crying. Now she is 5 years old. Daughter is 15 years old. And she is crying. She is showing affection as if she is mother. A 5-year child is showing as if she is the mother. She was crying. And when she met her husband, previous life, she was very shy. And all this is noted by this person. See, how do you fake? A small child cannot fake all this. Even if you feed some information, you can't make him behave like that. And she also found out, here it is, Shukla recognized previous life's house, her mother-in-law, brother-in-laws, husband, daughter. She indicated Haridan Chakravarti as her husband. The nicknames also she remembered. She also remembered there is some money she had kept and nobody knew in the house. For 10 years it was lying somewhere. She also told there is some money there. Only question was, this scientist was thinking why she got confused when she was entering the house. Then they asked, they said yes, when this lady died, the Mana in last life, our entry of the house was that side. Later we have closed it and we made another entry. So that means she recollected that. So this Ian Stevenson, he has written that I have tried all the explanations, but I have no doubt that this person had lived before. There's no other explanation logically that how this can happen. So I have this wonderful book also. I mean, I'm just showing you. If any one of you is too much interested, you can read. It's Demystifying Reincarnation. Many such actually documented cases are mentioned, and these scientists, how they evaluated these cases, that is also mentioned. Their approach was first to look at the case with skepticism. They begin thinking that this is fraud, and they analyze every possibility of a fraud. Maybe parents are doing fraud because they want popularity. Maybe the child is has told something. All kinds of possibility they analyze, and when no logical possibility exists, then they have to accept that there is no other explanation than to accept that this person had lived before. What this child is saying is actually true. So like that, many wonderful these are there. Very scientific book this is. If anyone of you want to read more, then it is available. Then it's not only our culture, but even other religions also speak about. There are many great philosophers in world who also जिन्होंने भी those speak about reincarnation. Is there mic here? Can somebody help me read this? Mic कहाँ है? कोई पढ़ेगा? Any volunteer? Just read these quotes one by one. Yes.
Uh, the first one by Benjamin Franklin. Finding myself to exist in the world, I believe I shall, in some shape or other, always exist.
तो ये बेंजामिन फ्रैंकलिन ने क्या कहा था कि मैं always I exist in some shape and form, कि I am always there in some different form. जैसे लास्ट टाइम मैंने पूछा था कि where were you when India got freedom? अपन क्या I was not there. नहीं, हम थे लेकिन कोई दूसरे shape and form. The soul, as soul we are eternal. यही बेंजामिन फ्रैंकलिन बोल रहे, ये कोई सनातनी नहीं है, but he knew this fact. Okay, next is John Adams. What he says?
By John Adams, those souls who revolted against God were placed here to transmigrate through various species of animals, birds, reptiles, etc.
Right, through different species. Socrates, one last.
I am confident that there truly is such a thing as living again and the living spring from the dead.
I'm convinced, he says, that there is something called living again. Death is not the end. It is the pause. The story continues. There is another life also. Like that, even Socrates. These are all Western philosophers. Okay, now quickly we'll go through the next part. We're going to talk about mechanism of mind. मन के बारे में देखेंगे, mind. Is man not just a powerful computer or robot? हमने थोड़ा डिस्कस किया इसके ऊपर कि जैसे I already told you, a camera can record but cannot experience. There is no emotion, there is no consciousness, there is no judging. But when we are seeing some drama, camera is seeing, we are seeing, we will experience emotions, consciousness, we are able to judge. There is difference between machine and ourselves. Are we just complicated machines? No. है ना, हम कोई सिर्फ मशीन है क्या? We are beyond it. The body is machine for sure, but we have an existence beyond it also. Okay. तो एक डायलॉग हुआ था बिटवीन श्रील प्रभुपाद जी एंड वन साइंटिस्ट. तो ये साइंटिस्ट आके पूछा स्वामी जी को, स्वामी जी, I think our body is just like a complex machine that gets worn out and crashes. Why should we bother about the soul powering body? ये साइंटिफिक लोग बोलते हैं कि अरे ये शरीर तो एक मशीन ही है, why should we bother about some soul or something? ऐसा उनको पूछा. Prabhupada ji answered, the Swami ji, great devotee of Krishna. He said, very nice answer. Please pay attention to this. Does your car grow? Do you have a male and female car that can unite and produce a baby car? A living body undergoes 6 changes, whereas matter just depreciates. It is the soul that makes living body alive. यानी क्या, कभी आपके ऐसा हुआ है कि आपके पार्किंग में एक मारुति इको और एक स्विफ्ट, दोनों कार खड़ी थी, दूसरे दिन आपने जाके देखा तो एक मारुति नैनो का बर्थ हो गया, छोटी सी कार, बिकॉज 2 of them gave birth. ऐसा कभी होता है? It never happens. 2 machines cannot produce another third machine on itself. अच्छा, anything ever it happened that you had a Maruti 800, अभी वो गया जमाना, but Maruti 800 and suddenly next day morning you saw it has become, you know, a big car. I don't know which one. It grew by itself. Does it happen? It doesn't happen. Even this body, if the soul goes away, then body will stop growing. Right? We were all small, like the kids. We also were like this, and the body was growing. Right? Hare Krishna. But if the soul goes away, the dead body stops growing. So what is that which makes the body grow? So here we understand major difference between a living body, and a robot or a machine. A living body undergoes 6 changes, while matter only dwindles. What are the 6 changes? We are going to see that. A male and female body can multiply similar species. Machine cannot reproduce by union. Living body has consciousness, thinking, feeling, willing. Matter has no consciousness. So ये 6 changes क्या है? Birth, growth, maintenance, production of byproducts, dwindling and death. We all took birth. Doubtful है सब लोग. सबको ज्यादा हो गया क्या? We all were born at one point of time, right? Then growth. You were this small, right? Our father was throwing us like you are now taking the kids. Now can anybody think of taking us like that? Growth. The body has grown. Maintenance. Then there is a phase of maintenance. Then production of byproducts. You know, male and female bodies can produce other bodies. Dwindling. That means decay. Old age आता है तो फिर decay भी है. And then death at the end. But for matter, some of these stages are not there. What are not there? Birth is there. Machine is created. The birth of machine. Growth. Machine cannot grow. Maintenance. Yes, maintenance phase hai. Production of byproducts. Not there. Can't reproduce itself. Dwindling is there. खराब हो जाता है, decay होता है, and death. Machine is dead. So 2 stages are not there. Only when there is soul, these 2 stages are there. Okay. Now mechanism of mind. We are going to talk about mind a little. This is very more interesting part. What happened? Okay. So last time I was telling you that the soul is actually covered by 2 more coverings. We have gross body. Inside that we have subtle body and then soul. Gross body is made up of the 5 elements. Gross यानी स्थूल, हिंदी में स्थूल शरीर. ये पंच महाभूत से बना है. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. This is the sharir which we can touch, we feel. Then beyond that, there is subtle body, which is made up of mind, intelligence and false ego. Mana, buddhi, ahankar. और उसके अंदर है soul, which is what we really are. तो यानी मैंने लास्ट टाइम एग्जांपल दिया था, जैसे हम कभी कपड़े पहने उसके ऊपर एक स्वेटर पहन लेते हैं, है ना, ठंडी में. तो एक कवर है, उसके ऊपर ये शर्ट है, दूसरा कवर, उसके ऊपर अंदर हम है. वैसे एक्चुअली ये शरीर जो एक कवर है, उसके अंदर एक और कवर है, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज सूक्ष्म शरीर, सटल बॉडी, और उसके अंदर है सोल. और डेथ यानी क्या है? लास्ट टाइम वी वर डिस्कसिंग, ग्रॉस बॉडी को छोड़ के सोल और सूक्ष्म शरीर, सटल बॉडी गोज टू अनदर ग्रॉस बॉडी, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज डेथ एंड रीबर्थ. द सटल बॉडी गोज विद द सोल, दैट इज नॉट गिवन अप. That's why these past life memories can be intact. Is it clear? सबको समझ में आया? See, इसमें भी आपको देखेंगे तो जो elements है, earth is a very gross element, very जिसको you can hold in hand, gross, समझ में आता है, स्थूल है. Water is subtler than earth, है ना? Water you can, it's liquid, so we cannot hold it. We can see, we can touch it, but you can't hold water in hand. Like earth. Fire is subtler than water. Can you hold fire in hand like water? No. You can see. That's it. We can only see. Air is subtler than fire. We can't even see, but we can experience. You move your hand, fan is moving, so we understand air is there. But subtler. Ether, yani vacuum, is also an element which is subtlest. You can't hold, you can't see, you can't, it's there, just there. So in our sharir, in our gross body, all these 5 are there. Earth hai, all our bones are made up of, क्या ना हिंदी सॉन्ग्स भी है, मिट्टी एक दिन मिट जाएगा, मिट्टी का है, मिट्टी में जाएंगे, ऐसा कुछ है ना सॉन्ग. यानी हम ये जो शरीर है, अर्थ एलिमेंट है, बोन्स आर मेड अप ऑफ कैल्शियम, ये सब एलिमेंट्स है. वाटर है शरीर में, है ना, पानी है ना, हम कितना पानी पीते हैं, पानी निकलता, पानी है. फायर है शरीर में. इज देयर फायर इन अवर बॉडी? वेयर? जठराग्नि, द फायर विच एक्चुअली digest. It's not the fire like what we say. It's a different kind of. कभी कभी फीवर भी आता है, वो अंदर से फायर आ रहा है बाहर, तो कहीं अंदर है ना, टेम्परेचर है तभी तो बाहर निकल रहा है, फायर है, एयर है, पूछने की जरूरत नहीं कभी कभी निकलता है, राइट. ईथर, इज देयर वैक्यूम, फ्री स्पेस ऑल्सो? यस, बॉडी में फ्री स्पेस भी है. सो दीज आर 5 एलिमेंट्स विच आर देयर. सटलर देन ईथर is mind. Now this is something you will have to imagine. See, मन क्या है, ये इथर से भी सटल है, बहुत सटल एलिमेंट है. तो शरीर में मन कहां है? देखिए, अगर आपको समझ में आ गया तो आप उत्तर दे सकते हैं इसका. सटल है इसका मतलब कि जैसे एयर सटल है सॉरी, एयर को ना आप जस्ट जितना सटल होता है उतना पकड़ के नहीं रख सकते हैं. मान लो अगर मैंने कुछ फ्लावर्स अभी यहाँ पे, कोई बहुत सुंदर सा खुशबूदार फ्लावर्स, सेंटेड फ्लावर वी ब्रिंग हियर, इफ आई पुट इट हियर यू विल गेट सेंट देयर आल्सो बिहाइंड. तो क्या है, एयर इज एक्चुअली ऑल परवेडिंग. तो वैसे ही सटल एलिमेंट, सटलर देन, मच सटलर देन एयर इज माइंड. माइंड इज एवरीवेयर थ्रू आउट द बॉडी. It's not located in one place. You may say how it is. Okay, I'll prove it. अगर आपको कोई हार्ट का प्रॉब्लम हुआ, हार्ट, so which doctor do you go? कार्डियोलॉजिस्ट. कार्डियोलॉजिस्ट, राइट. कार्डियोलॉजिस्ट कहाँ पे वर्क करता है, कहाँ पे चेक करेगा वो? आपके हार्ट में. अगर आप किसी ENT स्पेशलिस्ट के पास जाते हैं, व्हाट इज इट? ईयर, नोज, थ्रोट, सो ही हैज हिज एरिया. इफ यू गो टू अ डर्मेटोलॉजिस्ट, स्किन, he'll स्किन वाला, he'll touch your skin, he'll find out. I don't know what. लिवर के लिए कौन सा होता है? किडनी के लिए चलो, nephrologist, he'll be interested in your kidney, he'll check your kidneys, right? If you go to a psychologist or a psychiatrist, mind का doctor, which part of body he test? I mean, सुना तो होगा, एटलीस्ट गए नहीं होंगे, बट he doesn't check any one part of body, he just talks to you. ऐसा नहीं कि मन कहीं इधर है तो उसको चेक करता ना फिर मन का डॉक्टर. he just talks to you because mind is not located in one, mind is there. मन तो है, हमको मूड स्विंग्स भी आते हैं, हमको पता है मन है हमारा, बट ये मन है कहाँ पे? इस सब जगह है, पूरे शरीर में है. सटल है माइंड. एनीवेज, उससे भी सटल है बुद्धि, इंटेलिजेंस, और उससे सटल है ईगो. ईगो यानी सेंस ऑफ आइडेंटिफिकेशन. लाइक आई एम सोल, वी नो दैट वी ऑल आर सोल, बट हम लोग को लगता है कि मैं शरीर हूं. तो ये जो मिस आइडेंटिफिकेशन है, ये फॉल्स ईगो से आता है कि मैं ये शरीर हूं, मैं पुरुष हूं, मैं स्त्री हूं, मैं भारतीय हूं, मैं ये हूं, मैं वो हूं. ये जो आइडेंटिफिकेशन है, ये फॉल्स ईगो कहते हैं. अभी इसके बारे में आगे भी चर्चा करेंगे, डोंट वरी इफ यू डोंट, जस्ट अंडरस्टैंड राइट नाउ, जस्ट लिसन. और उससे सटल है सोल, विच इज made up of Sat Chit Ananda, yani eternity, knowledge and bliss is what soul is made up of. Subtle matter. It is not actual the matter which we see. It is subtle. Okay, so this much is enough for this. So अभी माइंड के बारे में थोड़ा और चर्चा करेंगे. See, इंटेलिजेंस का काम होता है डिसीजन मेकर. इंटेलिजेंस का दो एक्चुअली चीज होते हैं, डिस्क्रिमिनेशन एंड डिटर्मिनेशन एंड मेकिंग डिसीजन. What is good for me, what is wrong for me? Mind cannot decide. Mind goes by liking. मुझे ये अच्छा लगता है, जैसे बच्चे बोलते हैं मुझे मम्मी चॉकलेट चाहिए, but mind will not think whether it is good for you or not. It is intelligence which has to decide. Sometimes mind will say, कुछ like you see some nice food stuff, चलो ये केक खा लेते हैं, but the intelligence will say अरे पैसा नहीं लाया, you don't have money, so how will you purchase? This intelligence has to think. So who is decision maker? Intelligence. Mind is a storehouse of all the desires and past impression. Mind, to give an analogy, mind is like hard disk. Laptop में जो hard disk होता है, which stores all the data, that is like mind. It just stores and it has impressions, previous impressions. But intelligence is like CPU, which has to make the decision with the data. Is it good? It is bad. It has to be decided by intelligence. And also 5 senses are there. 5 senses are like the 5 input devices which are giving input to the mind. Okay, so like how many of you like gulab jamun? Okay, many of you. I'm not giving you immediately, don't worry. I don't know what is there in sweet, something might be there, I don't know what is it. But first time you ate gulab jamun, उसके पहले तो अच्छा नहीं लगता था. So you took gulab jamun, you ate, you liked it. So क्या हुआ? इनपुट गया सेंसेस से. जो हमारे 5 सेंसेस है, कर्मेंद्रिया, उनसे इनपुट जाता है माइंड को. And mind stores the impression. Yeah, this round ball called as gulab jamun is very nice. अच्छा लगता है. तो ये माइंड ने स्टोर कर लिया. नाउ नेक्स्ट टाइम व्हेन यू सी गुलाब जामुन, माइंड थिंक्स अरे वाह, चलो अभी अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस. बट इंटेलिजेंस को सोचना है अभी कि खाना है कि नहीं खाना है. मीन्स अगर वो आपके लिए नहीं बना है, लेट्स से यू डोंट हैव मनी, देन यू डोंट ईट. यू अंडरस्टूड व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से? द फंक्शन ऑफ 3 ऑफ इट, इंटेलिजेंस, माइंड एंड. अगर ये आपको समझ में आ गया तो यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड हाउ टू कंट्रोल योर माइंड. Many of your people, they have this issue मेरा मन बड़ा चंचल है. The boys, the children say I can't, they don't study. Parents always have complained. No, mind is very flickering. Even the adults face that problem. Now, how to control mind? By intelligence. So there is this chariot body analogy you can understand. We'll end in another 10 minutes. So the analogy is given. The senses are like 5 horses. So this horse is driven by the senses. Mind is like the reins of the horses. And the chariot driver is intelligence. लिखा है यहाँ पे. I'll show you. Intelligence is like chariot driver and the driver is soul. So what is ideally should happen? The soul should tell intelligence where to go. Intelligence should drive the mind to that destination, है ना? The driver should drive where the owner want to go. But think about if the mind is let loose, then the senses will drag. वो जो horses है 5 डायरेक्शन में चले जाएंगे. अगर इंटेलिजेंस वीक है यानी ड्राइवर उसको कंट्रोल नहीं कर पा रहा है तो क्या हो जाएगा? It will go to some direction where it doesn't want to go. So who has to control mind? Intelligence. अगर इतना समझ गया तो भी sufficient. Intelligence has to control mind. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, bandhuratmatmanastasya yenatma. Acha, you can repeat. Bandhuratmatmanastasya yenatmaivatmana jitaha anatmanastu shatrutve vartayetatmaiva shatruvat. See what Lord Krishna says. For him who has conquered the mind is best friend. For one who has failed to conquer mind, his mind will remain greatest enemy. अगर mind आपका कंट्रोल में है, नियंत्रण में है, mind is a best friend. But अगर mind uncontrolled है, it is worst enemy. That is what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. So mind has a capacity to make hell out of heaven and heaven out of hell. कभी कभी सब कुछ अच्छा चल रहा है बट आपका मन ठीक नहीं है तो यू फील लाइक नथिंग इज गुड. मूड स्विंग कहते हैं ना. कभी कभी there are people who are so positive thinking, many good wrong things are happening in life but their mind is strong, they feel everything is good, they're positive thinkers, right? Socrates का हमने देखा. Socrates का एक बार, I'll tell a small story. So this Socrates his wife was very irritating. She would always chastise him, yell at him. तो एक बार उनका फ्रेंड आया मिलने के लिए, Socrates का. So he was discussing philosophy with that friend Socrates. तो उसकी वाइफ बहुत जोर जोर से चिल्ला रही थी, बर्तन फेंक रही थी and all that. So Socrates said, ठीक है यहाँ पे अभी एटमॉस्फेयर अच्छा नहीं है, हम बाहर जाके बात करते हैं. तो Socrates उनके फ्रेंड के साथ में निकले, नीचे आए और ऐसे जा रहे थे तो ऊपर विंडो से वाइफ ने क्या किया, एक बकेट भर पानी लेके डाल दिया उनके ऊपर विंडो से. ऐसा करना नहीं चाहिए, मैं सजेस्ट नहीं कर रहा. ऐसे डाल दिया. तभी नॉर्मल रिएक्शन क्या होगा, जो एक भड़क जाएगा ना व्यक्ति, क्या है ये क्या. सॉक्रेटिस मुस्कुराए, अपने फ्रेंड को बोले, टिल नाउ इट वाज थंडरिंग, नाउ इट इज पोरिंग. अभी तक गड़गड़ाहट हो रहा था, अभी बारिश भी हो रहा है, चलो हम लोग निकलते हैं. सो दिस इज हेलिश सिचुएशन बट माइंड इज कंट्रोल्ड. so this person can be cool. So in our life also, many situations like this will come, difficulties, challenges, upsets, failures. But if your mind is strong, then we can actually face those. But otherwise, what happens? Small things also trigger a person, and one becomes, uh, gets into depression, anxiety, stress because of mind, right? So mind control, good friend. Mind uncontrol. अच्छा knife का example भी देते हैं. Is knife good or bad? Chaku? Depends. Both. If it's in the hand of a surgeon, it will save life. It's in the hand of a thief, it will kill. It will take life. Similarly, mind. Mind is not good or bad. It depends. Whether if you use it properly, mind will be your best friend. If you use it not properly, then it is. So there is a principle called GIGO principle. Garbage in, garbage out. ये मन क्या कहते हैं कहा दिस इज द की टू माइंड कंट्रोल सी हाउ टू mind is a storage house. You put wrong things in mind, then wrong things will come out because mind stores that likes it. If you put good things, good in, good out. Like so basically we all have a Ravana within and Lord Ram also. This is the tendency. We have good things, bad things both. Now it is up to us what we feed. There is a good dog and a bad dog inside. If you feed good dog, if you hear good things, like today you have come here every Sunday, now you're taking some time and coming. So good things you are hearing, it will help you become good in life. Positive things you hear, positive mindset will come. But you hear, dirty music, dirty stuff, then that's how the mind will get affected, right? So so we have to decide what we bring outside. Hence we need to give correct inputs to our mind. So I congratulate you, you are giving the best input actually. The spiritual discussion, Bhagavad Gita, spiritual knowledge is the best input which we can give to mind, right? Okay. So where do we get scripts in our mind? The books we read, the movies we watch, the music we hear, the friends we keep. This will be the input to our mind. We should be very mindful what kind of input we are giving. So there is this mental dialogues at times, right? Mind feels, intelligent things. I told you. So there is tug of war between mind and intelligence. Like this boy, he's saying, "See, I am in engineering. I should show off. I should know how to hold a cigar. People think it is cool." Mind is telling, but intelligence, same person, he's thinking, "No, this is bad. My parents will not like it." So there is tug of war between mind and intelligence. If mind wins, then he will smoke. If intelligence wins, he will not. And do we go through such tug of war? Different situations, right? ये करूं कि नहीं करूं? Should I go to the session? Should I not go to the session? Mind बोलता है जाने दो यार, संडे को एक ही तो दिन मिलता है, every day anyways, छोड़ दो. But intelligence बोलता है नहीं, कहाँ पे भगवद गीता फिर कहाँ सीखने को मिलेगा, जाना चाहिए. एक घंटा. Don't be lazy. This is something good for you. If intelligence wins, you are here. आप सबके intelligence win. Today it won. If mind wins, you are in your bed, sleeping and snoring. सही है कि नहीं? So my intelligence has to be strong. When will intelligence win? When you give proper input to your intelligence. If you keep on fit, जैसे आज आपने ये सुन लिया, I am very sure next time you will come. Because your intelligence is strong. You will tell your mind, shut up. It's good for me, I will do it. Right? But if we don't hear regularly, भूल जाएंगे बाद में, तो mind will win. You understood the principle? It's a simple thing. It was for a child. We know that study is good. He knows, right? Study करना चाहिए. Semester के शुरुआत से करना चाहिए. But mind says नहीं यार बहुत time है, बाद में देख लेंगे. अभी थोड़ा खेलते हैं. If mind is strong, he'll go for playing. If intelligence is strong, he will study, right? He means anybody for that matter. So like that, there is tug of war between mind and intelligence. Okay, let's move ahead quickly. Now this is the last part of my presentation. Practical benefits क्या होंगे when we know about this knowledge of soul and mind body. So we'll quickly rush through this, 5 more minutes, that's it. First is universal brotherhood. See, what divides us? bodily identification. Hindu versus Muslim, white versus black, rich versus poor, educated versus illiterate, beautiful versus, there is division. This is all bodily conscious, this is on bodily level. But on spirit level, we all are children of the same father. Srila Prabhupada used to say, you cannot have universal brotherhood unless you have universal fatherhood. So हम लोग बोलते हैं हिंदी चीनी भाई भाई, अभी तो बाय बाय हो गया, हिंदी चीनी बाय बाय, सॉरी पहले था राइट, हिंदी अमेरिका भाई भाई हो गया अभी, बट वो ऐसा भाई बोलने से होगा नहीं, देयर विल बी वॉर व्हेन यू नो. But if we understand, I am also soul and that person also is soul, part and parcel of the same God, then why there should be fight? There's so much fight in the world nowadays, so many wars, so much of differences. Everyone is fighting. Even neighbor is fighting with neighbor. Even in society, in one family, एक brother दूसरे से झगड़ा कर रहा है. All this division can be stopped when we understand this knowledge of soul. Agree? When we understand we have same father, then why should we fight? Okay, so this is bodily consciousness. But when we understand soul consciousness, then we actually will be together. When our ISKCON society, we celebrated, one festival, one big celebration. So 125 countries people came, because our society is everywhere. You may know about ISKCON all over world. It is international society. So people came, devotees came from 125 countries with their flag to participate in Kolkata. It happened 3-4 years back. So there was a Guinness Book of World Record, 125 countries participating. Before that, the record was on Narendra Modi's name, Prime Minister of India, Modi's name, 105 countries. So then our leaders wrote that Modiji, your record is 105 countries and our record is going to be 125. Should we break your record? And he was so happy. He said, yes, please go ahead. I am very proud that you break our record. So 125 countries, citizens came together to celebrate. There were Ukrainians and Russians together, jumping together in the name of God, chanting Kirtan. There were Muslims and Hindus together, because they were not thinking that we are different. They were all sons of God. We are souls. On that platform, actually, we can be united. Got the point? What I'm trying to say. Now then, rising above inferiority complex. Many times people have this inferiority, right? I am black, short, I don't know this, I'm not capable of doing this, I am little poor in intelligence, this person is very smart, he's doing, and we feel inferiority, right? But when we know that I am not this body but a pure soul with abundant potential, my defects are superficial, but defects are in body, not in soul. As a soul I am pure. Then my heart is full of love, joy, serenity, compassion for others. So when we have this understanding, we will not go through this inferiority complex, right? So also we can have positive outlook to the life, because then we are spirit, soul. Okay, anyways, I'll later cover this some other time. So we saw, am I matter or am I spirit in this session? We saw scientific proof of soul's existence, like the NDOB, then reincarnation, near-death experience. Then we also saw difference between living person and robot, right? The 6 stages: birth, growth, maintenance, byproducts, dwindling, death. Usme se 2 of them are not there with machines. And then finally we saw mechanism of mind: gross body, subtle body, and soul. Then mind, intelligence, and false ego, chariot analogy. And finally, controlled and uncontrolled mind, the Gigo principle. Garbage in, garbage out, good in, good out principle. And finally, we saw the practical benefits of the knowledge of soul. Today we covered a part of it. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Sorry for a little late now today. Any questions? We can take maybe 2-3 questions. Any comments, questions? Yes, sir. Please.
Hello. Yeah.
Yes.
So as you mentioned that there are a lot of fights happening in the world, right? So I am confused. Like there might be a lot of Arjunas that are fighting, right? So yeah,
Okay.
means peace may not be like so. Analogy of Mahabharata, right?
No.
Yeah.
See, here that fight we were talking about is unnecessary fight. There is something called Dharma Yuddha also, which Arjuna was doing for a just cause. for a very, for a higher principle, right? So that fight is different than the kind of fights nowadays people are having for no higher cause. They are fighting for control, land, some petty control over each other, some um, conquering each other's land and subduing each other. Countries are fighting, brothers are fighting for some money, for petty things. This is not the fight for higher principle, like a fight between police and terrorist. Is a just, police is not wrong, they have to do, the jawans have to do to the part of protection, so they are right, but they have to fight because there are some unreasonable people who are you got the point. So there is difference between this kind of fights like Kurukshetra fight and the fight which is good for nothing, for no. Is that clear? Like, is that what your question was?
Yeah, so basically the purpose of life for different people could be different, right? So maybe Arjuna's purpose was different than Bhima's purpose, right? So maybe all the individuals who are fighting, maybe they are fighting for their purpose and our perspective is different.
Okay. See, in a like, if I say this logic to a police, if I start fighting and now let's both of us have some fight and have some okay, let me say, if I give you a slap, something, हम दोनों का बीच में fight हो गया, and then I go to police and say, actually it is my perspective that I like to fight. Will the police hear, or will they say, no, there are laws, they have to be followed? Are there government laws, or will you tell government your perspective? You like to fight, that's my perspective. Government will say, you may go and tell, I know, my perspective is okay to kill. Thoda, my perspective is population kam ho jayega. So let me kill a few people. It's my perspective. Will this be accepted? Or there are some laws by which the world is governed. So when we say, so the point I was trying to bring to here is, so when we talk about this, this laws or higher perspective or the purpose, that comes from, we have to also inquire about the higher realities. I'm not sure whether you all are able to put attention. I'm also getting distracted because of. Can we just wait for some time? Can you just wait for some, because everyone is kind of distracted suddenly. So I'm also not able to properly focus on giving the answer to it. Even those who ask questions, they are also writing. So I don't know who I am answering the question to, right? So it's not that just like we cannot give this argument to the government or the police saying that I have a perspective. Simply, there are laws by which the world is also governed, right? So what is right? What is the right cause? You and we cannot justify. It has to be according to the creator. According to the, like terrorists can say our cause is also just. So do we agree with them? Will you agree a terrorist killing innocent people? He says, yeah, it's a just cause. He is convinced about it. Now we'll say, yeah, it's his perspective. Why should we go behind terrorist? What do you think, sir? Should we take action against terrorist? That is their perspective, right? No, it's a wrong perspective. Just by saying that it is my perspective doesn't make it right. You have to ask an authority. And the greatest authority is who has created this. There are different levels of authority. So we have to see. So even Arjuna was asking this to Krishna. Krishna says, no, this is dharma yuddha. There is an injustice. You have to fight. That's a just cause to fight. But for our own understanding, and we start fighting, that's not just the just cause. Somebody will say, okay, I want to conquer more land. Ukraine thinks or Russia thinks, let me conquer. and they start fighting for no good reason. Now that's not a just for. Now you may say that's their perspective. No, it's not right. You can't do an unnecessary harm because that's your perspective. Is it just? Is it according to dharma? And that's why Krishna comes and gives us the moral code. He gives us all this knowledge. For what? So we should understand this knowledge and behave, lead our life according to this knowledge. If it is according to knowledge, yes, then sometimes fight is also required. If somebody is aggressive, somebody comes and tries to kill you, you can fight, because this human birth is very valuable. You have to practice bhakti, you have to practice yoga, it's a higher thing. And if somebody is unnecessarily bothering you, you can fight. But you cannot unnecessarily trouble others. That's not justified by the codes of dharma. So we have to decide what is truth, what is right according to the codes of dharma, the moral, not according to perspectives. Does that kind of make you clear? Or maybe we can discuss a little more if you want to. But this is the thing. Yes. Yes. Ah. See, mind. Okay, good. We discuss a little bit. Mind is in between. It's a sandwich, let's say. There's intelligence on top, senses below. We saw that today. So we have to think about both. Intelligence has to be nourished to control mind. Mind should not control intelligence. Right? So that we discussed today. So how do we strengthen intelligence? By giving good input to intelligence. Now, what is the input to intelligence? What you read, what you hear, what you discuss. Like today we are having such nice discussion. Now the intelligence is little better strengthened, right? If you read books like Gita, we read some wisdom books, see some nice like documentaries. You see like wonderful, knowledgeable documentaries. Or so when you take this input to intelligence, it becomes stronger. It will control mind. So this is one way, upside down. Second way to also we have to be careful is the input which the senses give. That is downward up. If the senses are brought in touch with something which is not good for them, for us, like for a diabetic patient, and if he loves sweet, it is better for him to not too much watch the sweets, right? If he brings the senses in touch, let's say he says, "Okay, I can't eat, I have diabetes, but let me just smell." He's going for disaster. है कि नहीं? So senses also should be disconnected from the sense objects which are not good for you. So disconnect the senses from sense object and strengthen intelligence by proper input. Good discussions, good reading, good whatever you take in for the nurturing intelligence. Does that? So this way the mind will gradually calm down. Another thing which we are going to talk about later, I'll tell you right now just briefly, is the spiritual part, that is mantra. What is mantra? Mana trayate iti mantra. Mana tra. So this Hare Krishna mantra which we chant here, that actually delivers mind. Many times mind is hyperactive. We are going to have a full session on this. So, but I'll just give a brief. So how to immediately calm down, this mantra will help. If you chant mantra, you calm down the mind actually. There are scientific studies I'm going to present to you later, which prove that how mind can be calmed down. So many of us were doing this meditation, mantra meditation or chanting, repeating the names of God daily. So I know a lot of students also who do it, and they feel much benefited by that. Their anger, their sudden, what you call reactive nature has calmed down. The thoughtful, they become more peaceful. So you have to practice this mantra meditation. Obviously, this is not the reason why we do. That's not the only reason. Mantra actually connects us with God also. That's a spiritual thing. But it also has the benefit to control our mind. Okay, so these things, if we follow a good lifestyle, goodness lifestyle, and also mantra meditation, and good inputs to mind and intelligence, and also controlling our senses. If we do that, then mind will be peaceful. Okay, thank you. Any other question? One. Okay, yourself and then one more. Yeah.
So in the gross body we have 5 characteristics, and we have subtle body. We
5
have
elements.
Yeah, 5 elements, and
Huh.
in the subtle body we have 3. In the soul also we have anything?
Soul, so the soul does not have elements. Soul is made up of Satchid Ananda. These are the 3 components of soul, you can say. Just like gross body is made up of 5, soul is Sat Chit Ananda. Now it's a little difficult for us to comprehend with our material brain what does it really mean, but we can infer. Sat means eternity. Sat means knowledge. Chit, sorry, I'm missing. Sat means eternity. Chit means knowledge, and Ananda means bliss. So let's connect our discussion previously. We all want happiness. We had discussed before. Why? Because the soul in itself is happiness seeking, Ananda. So that is called Anandamayo Bhyasa. The soul is happiness seeking. That's why we always seek. Then also soul, another characteristic of soul is eternity. So that means it wants to live forever. So that's why nobody wants to die. Because we misidentify with the body. We think that body is dead, I am dead. Actually not the case. The soul lives forever. But nobody wants full stop to existence. Why? Because we have the characteristic of eternity and knowledge. The soul has a nature to know things, to expand its knowledge. That's why you see living entities have that characteristic of want to increase, want to know more and more. So, not making it too complicated at this stage, these are the 3 characteristics of soul: knowledge, eternity, and bliss. This is what soul is. Okay? Yeah, next.
नमस्ते गुरुजी.
Who's that?
मैं सर.
Hand. Okay, हाँ.
मैं एक्चुअली तेलुगु, हिंदी में बात करने की कोशिश
हाँ, हिंदी में करिए.
सर, हमारा एक डाउट क्वेश्चन. शरीर अलग है, आत्मा अलग है बोल के
सही है.
तो इसमें आत्मा को, ये शरीर को वो समाप्त होता है, आत्मा समाप्त नहीं होता है. ये और नया जनरेट होता है फिर नहीं होता है, क्या है वो? एक्चुअली हमारा डाउट क्या है, इंडिया 2000 में एग्जांपल 100 crores,
लास्ट टाइम
अभी 25 इयर्स में 150
ठीक है, समझ गया.
पॉपुलेशन आत्मा और जनरेट होता है और नहीं होता है.
इसका हमने लास्ट टाइम, शायद आप नहीं थे, हमने इसके बारे में बात किया था.
सॉरी.
हाँ, लास्ट टाइम ये क्वेश्चन आया था. तो ये पॉपुलेशन जो है, मैं आपको पर्सनली बात करता हूँ क्योंकि अभी टाइम कम है. तो कैसा होता है, सिर्फ ह्यूमन बींग्स में आत्मा नहीं है, सिर्फ मनुष्य में नहीं है, प्राणी में भी आत्मा है, वनस्पति में भी आत्मा है. जैसे प्लांट भी ग्रो होता है कि नहीं, जो भी कुछ ग्रो होता है अपने आप से, उसमें आत्मा है. तो ये सारा आत्मा का ट्रांसमाइग्रेशन चलते रहता है. कभी अभी जो प्राणी है शरीर में है, वो ऐसा हो सकता है कि मनुष्य शरीर नेक्स्ट टाइम मिले उसको, और मनुष्य जो है वो प्राणी में जा सकता है. तो ये चलते रहता है, पूरा चक्कर है. तो सम टोटल ऑफ सारे सोल सेम ही है, लेकिन कोई अभी प्राणी में ज्यादा है, कभी ह्यूमन बीइंग ज्यादा है. वैसे ये एक्चुअली एक मिथ है. मैं आपको बताता हूँ कि अभी पॉपुलेशन बहुत बढ़ गया. अगर आप वेदा, अपने जो वैदिक ग्रंथ है उसमें पढ़ेंगे कि पहले पॉपुलेशन इससे भी बहुत ज्यादा था. तो ऐसा नहीं कि अभी बहुत एकदम एक्सप्लोजन हो गया, ऐसा नहीं है. एक्चुअली पहले इससे ज्यादा भी पॉपुलेशन था, लेकिन ये थोड़ा पॉलिटिकल रीजन से लोग ऐसा बोलते हैं. बट द पॉइंट इज कि सोल इज नॉट डिस्ट्रॉयड, सोल इज नॉट क्रिएटेड. सोल ओनली चेंजेस फॉर्म फ्रॉम वन बॉडी टू अनदर. ठीक है, डिटेल में आपको बाद में समझा देता हूँ. लास्ट टाइम बात किया था हमने. वन लास्ट, देन वी मे एंड, क्योंकि कुछ लोगों को जाना भी होगा.
प्रभु जी, लास्ट टाइम भी मुझे क्वेश्चन था, मैं पूछ नहीं पाया, तो 2-3 क्वेश्चंस हैं. आप शॉर्ट में आंसर कर सकते हैं.
2-3?
हाँ, तो आपको ज्यादा टाइम नहीं लेना.
ओके, ठीक है.
सो यस एंड नो में भी
रैपिड फायर करते हैं. चलो.
सो हमारे पास एबिलिटी है क्या सोल को देखने का?
नहीं
है. तो ठीक है, सब्सिक्वेंट क्वेश्चंस आपने खत्म कर दिए 2. अच्छा,
चलो, आई वन, थैंक यू.
एंड बहुत
क्यों
लोग
नहीं देख सकते? लेट मी एक्सप्लेन, थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लेन करता हूँ. क्योंकि सोल मैटर नहीं है, एंटी मैटर है. अपने जो सारे इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स है, या हम कहां से देखेंगे? ये आंखों से. ये मैटर है. मैटर कैनॉट परसीव एंटी मैटर। तो फिर आप बोलेंगे फिर ये सोल के बारे में बात, सी भगवान कृष्ण एक उदाहरण देते हैं भगवत गीता में, जैसे ये माला है, अभी यहां तो दिख रहा है, बट ये माला में आप धागा देख सकते हैं, ऊपर मत देखो, नीचे से देखो बस। या कोई नेकलेस है, कोई पर्ल नेकलेस है, उसमें क्या आप धागा देख सकते हैं क्या? नहीं दिखता है, लेकिन है क्या? इट्स देयर और नॉट? Why? Because everything is together. So Lord Krishna says, some things you cannot see, but you understand, but you infer their presence, that they exist. जैसे यहां माला में धागा दिख नहीं, लेकिन हम सबको पता है धागा अंदर है, वैसे ही भगवान भी है, सोल भी है। जैसे ये शरीर काम कर रहा है, कॉन्शियसनेस है, सोच सकता हूं मैं, बात कर सकता हूं, आई एम एबल टू फील, आई एम एबल टू थिंक, आई एम एबल टू एक्सप्रेस, इसका मतलब सोल है, ऑल्दो आई एम नॉट एबल टू सी। जब वो सोल निकल जाएगा तो शरीर गिर जाएगा, फिर कुछ नहीं, ग्रोथ नहीं, मेंटेनेंस नहीं, बात नहीं, कुछ नहीं, सिर्फ डीके एंड डेड। सो बाय दैट सिम्टम यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड सोल, कृष्णा सेज। यू कांट हैव अ टेलीस्कोप, माइक्रोस्कोप, लैबोरेटरी में नहीं देख सकते आप, लेकिन सोल के सिम्टम से आप सोल को पहचान सकते हैं, जान सकते हैं सोल को। ठीक है।
अब एक्चुअली मैं ये क्वेश्चन इसलिए पूछा कि मैं एक और जगह कहीं इस टाइप के सत्संग में था, बैठा था, उन्होंने तो सोल कैसे दिखता है, आप कैसे देख सकते हैं, कहाँ लोकेटेड है, वो सब बता दिया उन्होंने।
Okay.
तो एनीवे, तो ये क्वेश्चन रह गया था। एंड सेकंड थिंग है, जो आप मन, बुद्धि और ये सब के बारे में बता रहे थे ना, आई एम श्योर यहाँ बहुत सारे लोग होंगे जो हमेशा कहेंगे कि मन और बुद्धि के बीच अगर द्वंद्व हुआ तो मन की सुनो, बुद्धि की नहीं। ठीक है, तो उस पे आपको क्या कहना है? एंड इससे रिलेटेड एक सब्सिक्वेंट क्वेश्चन है कि मन नॉट ऑलवेज माइट बी रॉन्ग, मन बहुत बार सही भी होगा, जरूरी नहीं है कि उसको आप इंटेलिजेंस से ड्राइव करो। और मेरे को लगता है कि मन और इंटेलिजेंस के बीच में एक बहुत बड़ा फैक्टर है, वो है विल पावर। मेरा इंटेलिजेंस तो कह रहा है ये सही है, बट मेरा विल पावर इतना स्ट्रांग नहीं है कि मैं उसको ना, मन को उस डायरेक्शन में लेके जाऊं। तो इस पे आप क्या कहेंगे?
ठीक है, तो सबसे पहले मैं आपको ये बताना चाहता हूँ कि हमारा जो भी यहाँ पे जो मैं शेयर कर रहा हूँ वो भगवत गीता से एज इट इज, हमारे जो श्रील प्रभुपाद जी है उन्होंने श्री भगवत गीता, आप भी पढ़ सकते हैं भगवत गीता जो 5000 साल पहले भगवान श्री कृष्ण ने बताया। तो क्या होता है, जो नॉलेज है स्पेक्यूलेशन से नहीं आता है कि नहीं? जैसे इंजीनियरिंग पढ़ना है तो इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज में जाओ, जो टेक्स्ट बुक है वो पढ़ो, और जो प्रोफेसर वो टेक्स्ट बुक से पढ़ाता है उससे पढ़ो, तो फिर इंजीनियरिंग बन सकते हैं, इंजीनियर बनते हैं कि नहीं? अगर कोई बोलता है कि ठीक है मैं काम करता हूँ, मैं कॉमिक्स मैगजीन पढ़ता हूँ और मेरे इंजीनियरिंग के पेपर में कॉमिक्स मैगजीन लिख देता हूँ और फिर मैं इंजीनियरिंग बन जाऊंगा क्योंकि बुक तो पढ़ा मैंने, कैन यू बी एन इंजीनियर लाइक दैट? नो। तो जो ज्ञान होता है, अभी जैसे शास्त्रों के बारे में बात करनी है, अगर हमको मन, बुद्धि, अहंकार, सोल के बारे में करना है तो हमें शास्त्रों से पूछना चाहिए। तो जब मैं यहाँ पे बात कर रहा हूं, मैं हर चीज के लिए आपको एक श्लोक बता रहा हूं भगवत गीता से। तो जब मैं कहता हूं कि नहीं सोल नहीं दिख सकता, ये मैं भगवत गीता के आधार पे कह रहा हूं। मुझे नहीं पता किससे आपने सुना, अगर वो मुझे भगवत गीता का या भागवत का किसी का श्लोका लाके दिखाए कि सोल ऐसा दिखता है और ऐसा करता है, ऐसे देख सकते हैं उसको, तो हम मानेंगे। ओपन चैलेंज है उनको, जाके बताइए, आप लाके दिखाइए मुझे, मैं तो दिखाने को रेडी हूं, वहां भगवत गीता रखा हुआ है, पढ़ लीजिए, आप पढ़ लीजिए, आप सब एजुकेटेड लोग हैं। सो ठीक है, तो ये जो है ना, इंडिया में अभी थोड़ा ऐसे एक थोड़ा सा सुपरमार्केट हो गया है, सबको भगवान बनना है, सबको गुरु बनना है, और लोग चीटर हो भी जाते हैं क्योंकि सब कुछ भी बोल दो। अभी जब हम रिक्शा वाले से बात करते हैं, मैं तो क्योंकि इस ड्रेस में होता हूँ, कभी रिक्शा में बैठता हूँ, वो भी सुनाना चालू कर देता है, वो मुझे ही बताता है कि स्वामी जी पता है आपको भगवत गीता में क्या लिखा है? मैं बोलता नहीं मुझे नहीं पता, आप ही बताओ, है कि नहीं? क्योंकि सबको लगता है कि मेरे को तो पता है, ये अध्यात्म मतलब ये तो हमारे घर की बात है यार, ये तो हमारे दादी परदादी से यही तो सुने हैं। लेकिन वो क्वालिफिकेशन नहीं होता है ज्ञान के लिए। आपको ऐसे एजुकेट, जो प्रोफेसर है, जिसने सच में पढ़ा है, उससे पढ़ना पड़ता है। नहीं तो कोई डॉक्टर का बेटा बोलेगा कि मेरे घर तो सारे डॉक्टर है तो मैं भी सर्जरी चालू कर देता हूँ। नहीं सर, ऐसे नहीं होता है। आपको भी जाना पड़ेगा इंस्टीट्यूट, दूसरे डॉक्टर से सीखना पड़ेगा, तब जाके आप क्वालिफाइड बनोगे, है कि नहीं? तो ये पहली चीज हो गई कि हम, आई विथ ऑल ड्यू रिस्पेक्ट टू अदर टीचर्स, मैं जो कह रहा हूँ गीता से कह रहा हूँ, ये मैं बोल्डली आपको बता, आप गीता पढ़िए, खुद ही परचेस करिए, हमारा स्टॉल भी है, तो हमारा प्रेजेंटेशन भगवत गीता से एज इट इज है, ठीक है? और दूसरा क्वेश्चन आपने पूछा था, आई जस्ट फॉरवर्ड, मन और बुद्धि। तो ये देखिए आपको समझना पड़ेगा, मन जो है जनरली मैंने जो कहा, अगेन गीता के हिसाब से मन है स्टोर हाउस ऑफ इंप्रेशंस। देयर आर गुड इंप्रेशंस, बैड इंप्रेशन। भगवत गीता ये नहीं बोल रहा है, आज के सेशन में हमने देखा कि मन खराब है, या भगवान ये भी नहीं बोल रहे कि मन अच्छा है, मन न्यूट्रल है। जैसे चाकू का एग्जाम्पल मैंने दिया, चाकू खराब है, नाइफ इज गुड और बैड, डिपेंड्स। तो मन अच्छा भी हो सकता है, अगर मन को हमने अच्छे संस्कार दिए हैं, अच्छे इंप्रेशन दिए हैं, देन मन इज गुड, माइंड इज एक्चुअली हेल्पिंग यू। बट जनरली आज के सोसाइटी में आप बताइए मुझे, if it's a traditional home and good bringing, it's okay, but generally we have so many opportunities to get bad samskar on our mind. Do you agree? All of so many bad things which are coming up, right? Why there is so much depression, why so much stress, why so much anxiety, why so many suicides? अगर माइंड करेक्ट है लोगों का, जनरल, एक हाथ दूसरा तो अच्छा व्यक्ति हो ही सकता है, एक्सेप्शन, बट इन जनरल की बात करें, डू यू थिंक सर सुसाइड is decreasing or increasing? Suicide rates in India, divorce is decreasing or increasing? Intolerance is decreasing or increasing? Crime decreasing or increasing? क्या दिखाता है ये? मन अच्छा है कि मन बुरा है? अगर वो क्रिमिनल को समझ में आए कि अरे मैं अगर ये क्रिमिनल एक्टिविटी करूंगा फांसी लगेगा, पकड़ा, वो नहीं समझता है उस टाइम पे, तो क्राइम करता है, देन पकड़ा जाता है तो रोता है। क्यों रो रहा है? यही जो बुद्धि, इंटेलिजेंस अगर पहले मिल गया होता, दैट आई शुड नॉट डू द क्राइम, ही वुड हैव बीन सेव्ड। समझ गए? सो इन जनरल की हम बात कर रहे हैं, तो भगवान इन जनरल भगवद गीता में कहते हैं कि हाँ, मन जो है चंचल है। अर्जुन कृष्ण, भगवान कृष्ण को क्वेश्चन करते हैं, चंचलम ही मनः कृष्ण प्रमाथि बलवद दृढ़म तस्याहम निग्रहम मन्ये वायुर इव सदुष्कुरम। हे कृष्णा, चंचलम ही मनः कृष्ण, कृष्णा ये मन बड़ा चंचल है, प्रमाथि बहुत स्ट्रांग है, बलवत दृढ़म तस्याहम निग्रहम मन्ये वायुरिव। अर्जुन बोल रहे कृष्ण को, मैं विंड को, एयर, आई कैन कंट्रोल विंड, आई हैव सो मच पावर, बट आई कैन नॉट कंट्रोल दिस माइंड। देखो विंड को कंट्रोल करना इजी नहीं है, जब वो हरिकेन्स आते हैं, टॉर्नेडोज, हर्ड अबाउट इट? व्हाट बिग बिग नेशंस डू? व्हाट इज अमेरिका डूइंग? इफ देयर इज अ हरिकेन, दे सेड वैकेट, छोड़ो, कुछ नहीं कर सकते, बिगेस्ट आर्मीज कैन डू एनीथिंग, बट अर्जुन सेड मैं कर सकता हूं। अर्जुन वाज सच अ बिग पावरफुल वॉरियर, ही सेड आई कैन कंट्रोल विंड, नॉट द स्मॉल विंड, हरिकेन्स आल्सो ही कैन कंट्रोल बाय हिज अस्त्रस, बाय दैट वेपन्स, बट ही सेड कृष्णा ये मन नहीं कंट्रोल होता है। अगर अर्जुन को ये प्रश्न हो रहा है और हम बोले नहीं हमारा प्रश्न, हमारा मन तो है, तो कंट्रोल, इट्स नॉट इजी टू कंट्रोल माइंड, मे बी वी नेवर ट्राइड। और भगवान कृष्ण क्या कहते हैं, गीता के 6वें अध्याय में ये श्लोक है, पढ़ लीजिए आप, असंशयम महाबाहो मनो दुर्निग्रहम चलम अभ्यासेन तु कौन्तेय वैराग्येण च गृह्यते। कृष्ण से, भगवान कृष्ण कह रहे असंशयम महाबाहो, हे महाबाहो अर्जुना, कोई संशय ही नहीं इसमें कि मन को कंट्रोल करना डिफिकल्ट है। अगर भगवान कह रहे कि डिफिकल्ट है, तो सच में डिफिकल्ट होगा कि नहीं? असंशयम महाबाहो मनो दुर्निग्रहम चलम अभ्यासेन तु कौन्तेय वैराग्येन च गृह्यते। लेकिन अगर आप अभ्यास करोगे तो इसको करना पॉसिबल है, मन को कंट्रोल करना। तो क्या अभ्यास कहते हैं भगवान? यही जो हमने आज बात किया, अच्छे चीजों को पढ़ने का अभ्यास करो, अच्छे गिव गुड इनपुट्स टू द माइंड, दिस इज अभ्यास। या जो मंत्र मेडिटेशन की हमने बात की, दैट इज अभ्यास, प्रैक्टिस। सो इफ यू डू दैट, कृष्ण सेज ग्रेजुअली माइंड विल बी, gradually it will come under control. You have to give good impressions to mind. Mind is just a storehouse of impression, it does not make decisions actually. And you did say that willpower, you said actually willpower is a function of intelligence. ये विल पावर कहां से आता है? ये मन के पास नहीं है विल पावर। मन तो सिर्फ बोलता है आई लाइक इट, आई डोंट लाइक इट, आई लाइक इट, आई डोंट लाइक इट, आई लाइक इट, आई डोंट लाइक इट, ये मन है। और जब हम कुछ कहते हैं विल पावर, यानी आई डोंट लाइक इट बट आई विल डू इट, जैसे किसी को स्टडी करना है, जैसे बच्चों का एग्जाम्पल मैंने दिया, आई डोंट लाइक टू स्टडी बट आई विल स्टिल स्टडी बिकॉज इट इज गुड फॉर मी. तो ये जो विल पावर है ये इंटेलिजेंस का फंक्शन है अकॉर्डिंग टू अवर स्क्रिप्चर्स. तो फिर विल पावर स्ट्रांग करना है यानी इंटेलिजेंस को स्ट्रांग करना है. तो इसका मतलब क्या, अभी कैसे इंटेलिजेंस स्ट्रांग होगा बच्चे के लिए, उनको बताना पड़ेगा कि भाई अच्छे पढ़ाई करोगे तो अच्छा जॉब मिलेगा, अच्छा मार्क्स मिलेंगे, लाइफ अच्छा होगा. अगर ये इंटेलिजेंस को समझ गया तो वो अच्छा पढ़ाई करेगा, और अगर मन के हिसाब से चलेगा तो पढ़ाई नहीं करेगा. इज इट क्लियर? इज इट वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड? सो विल पावर इज करेक्ट. डिटर्मिनेशन, that determination or willpower is actually function of intelligence, not mind. Okay sir?
पर गुरुजी आपने उस क्वेश्चन का आंसर नहीं दिया.
कौन सा?
कि मन और बुद्धि के द्वंद में मन की सुनो या बुद्धि की, जब आपको आप डिसाइड नहीं कर पा रहे हो, मन एक चीज बोल रहा है, बुद्धि एक चीज बोल रहा है, और दोनों ही आपको लग रहा है कि आपको कंफ्यूजन में, इनफैक्ट
अगर आपकी बुद्धि प्यूरिफाइड है, अगर बुद्धि भी गड़बड़ है और मन भी गड़बड़ है तो दोनों की मत सुनो. उसके लिए गुरु लगता है. फिर हम बात करेंगे उसके बारे में.
ठीक है.
जैसे नहीं रुकिए सर. आगे टेररिस्ट है, बहुत बुद्धि उनके पास, बहुत बुद्धि है कि नहीं टेररिस्ट के पास? इतना अमेरिका पे हमला किया, बुद्धि है कि नहीं? और मन भी है. अभी उनको किसकी सुनना चाहिए? दोनों की नहीं सुनना चाहिए. उनको कोई गुरु यानी जो जिसका इंटेलिजेंस जगह पे है, बुद्धि ठीक ठाक है, उसकी सुनना चाहिए. तो अगर हमारा इंटेलिजेंस ठीक ठाक है, इफ द इंटेलिजेंस हैज गॉट गुड इनपुट्स, we have studied nicely, we have studied the scriptures, we have studied wisdom literature, we have heard, we know about life's purpose, then we can hear buddhi, then it is good. So we have to make our buddhi ready for it. And mind generally we should not listen to, because mind is generally, according to Gita, gives us wrong input. But if the mind has become friend by good inputs, then we can listen to mind.
Okay. एंड थर्ड क्वेश्चन था रिलेटेड टू वो जो हम बोल रहे थे कि यूनिवर्सल फादरहुड एंड ऑल, राइट?
या
सो वी ऑल अंडरस्टैंड दैट. एंड देन आपने बोला कि ये वॉर्स क्यों होते हैं, यूएस उसको अटैक क्यों कर रहा है एंड ऑल. बट अगर देखा जाए ना, मोस्ट ऑफ द वॉर्स एंड एवरीथिंग जो होता है, एवरीवन इज ट्राइंग टू प्रूव देमसेल्फ राइट. तो वो लगता है कि दे आर आउट टू फाइट दैट वॉर जस्ट टू डिफीट द इविल. द अदर साइड बिकम्स द इविल. यूएस बोलेगा कि मैं ह्यूमन राइट्स और ये सब डेमोक्रेसी ला रहा हूँ, मैं लोगों के लिए सोच रहा हूँ. बट अब हम और आप बाहर से बैठ के बोल सकते हैं कि ये जो है गलत सोच रहा है. मतलब ये जो एक्चुअली होना चाहिए धर्म के हिसाब से शायद नहीं हो रहा. बट लोग तो प्रैक्टिकल तो वही हो रहा है ना जो कर रहे हैं लोग. एवरीवन थिंक्स दैट दे आर राइट.
If I understand whatever I have heard of history, and most of you probably can judge me what I'm saying. See, there are external reasons what people show for their fights, but the real reasons are different. No, if you're talking about country level, United States is least bothered about democracy or bureaucracy or this crazy or that crazy. They are interested in oil. They are interested in power. They are interested in to be number one. Do you agree? How many of you agree? Raise your hand. Sir, the cause of fight is not the good moral values. The cause of fight is deeper than that. और ये सब लेवल पे अप्लीकेबल है. घर पे भी झगड़े होते हैं ना, बातें बड़ी बड़ी करते हैं लोग कि तो मैं तो प्रिंसिपल के लिए झगड़ा कर रहा हूँ. बट एक्चुअली ऐसे बहुत कम लोग हैं जो प्रिंसिपल के लिए झगड़ा कर रहे हैं. वो कुछ तो फायदे के लिए झगड़े होते हैं. फिर आप उसको देखो कि फायदे के लिए झगड़ा क्यों कर रहा है. अरे भाई, अगर ये ज्ञान समझ में आ जाएगा कि यू आर जस्ट द बॉडी, फॉर सम टाइम यू आर फ्लैपिंग इनटू दिस बॉडी यू हैव टू गिव अप आफ्टर सम टाइम. यू आर नॉट अमेरिकन, यू आर नॉट इंडियन, यू आर नॉट पाकिस्तानी, यू आर स्पिरिट सोल. आज को फाइट कर रहा है पाकिस्तान के साथ, कल को पाकिस्तान में जन्म लेगा तू. अगर ये समझ में आ गया तो व्हाई वुड वी फाइट? सबको आप बोलेंगे मुझे समझ में आ गया, आई अंडरस्टैंड. बट इफ एवरीवन गेट्स टू नो, दैट्स द सॉल्यूशन. United Nations was made so that we are united, right? The nation should be united, but the flags are increasing and more fights are happening in United Nations because everyone is coming with their agenda. What is wrong? Because they are not accepting United Father. If we understand that we all come from and then we behave like that, then the problem will be solved, which is, I know, which is next to impossible unless we actually give this knowledge to everyone. And if that can happen, but I told you in the example, right in front of my eyes, I'll tell you two of our senior leaders in our society, ISKCON, they're two sannyasis. One is Radhanath Swami, another one is Sachinandan Swami. This Radhanath Swami comes from Jewish background. His parents' lineage is Jew by birth. And Sachinandan Swami, he is German by birth. Both of them now devotees of Krishna. They're big leaders. They're very good devotees, great devotees. So once I was there in the lecture when they were giving, they were both together on the stage and they were talking, giving a talk. And they both embraced each other. They're best of friends. And we know that they're how close friends they are. And then that day they were saying in the mic, in the class, in the session, they said, see, Radhanath Swami said, his forefathers killed my forefathers. Germans killed the Jews. It's history. All of us know. Even now in Germany, Jews are hated and Jews hate Germans like anything because of the history, like we have with Muslims, right? But he said, Radhanath Swami was saying, his forefathers killed my forefathers. But because now we have got this knowledge, he doesn't identify with them, nor do I identify with my lineage. We both have understood we have nothing to give and take with the Jew or German or whatever. We understand we are part of God. We are soul. We have got the knowledge of Gita, and today we both are best of the friends. We can give life for each other. We are ready to not take each other's life. Other Jews and Germans are taking each other's life. And here are two devotees of God ready to give life for each other. They are very good friends. Why this has happened? How that enmity has become such a good friendship? Because of the knowledge of spirit, soul, and also God. When we understand, we are children of the same Father. Even forget about Jews and Germans and Indians and Americans and Pakistanis, even dogs and cats. Now we talk about humanity and we have a great thing and we kill animals. But a devotee of God understands even that is soul. So he is compassionate even to the animals. So the actual peace in the world can be brought only by this knowledge. Not by some artificial adjustments. They are failing. They are failing. Which war United Nations is able to stop? Tell me. No, two countries decide we have to fight means fight. No control anybody else has to. What is that United Nations doing? But yes, if we unite actually people with knowledge, then there won't be fight. And ISKCON has proved it. We have seen by our own eyes because people have understood the higher knowledge. So that was the part. Okay. Thank you so much. For any more questions, we may talk later. Thank you so much. I took a little longer time, but I think this was helpful. Good discussion on a Sunday. Helpful to strengthen our intelligence, and hope to see all of you next time also. And so that there is a lot actually to discuss. Trust me, there's a lot to discuss, lot to know. Please do not feel that if I'm not able to perfectly answer right now, because you need to also know a lot of things. And I hope such kind of discussions will be helpful to all of you in time to come. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for wonderful session and giving us a knowledge of soul. I hope everybody has really got benefited from this session. So please share your feedback in this form. And before we disperse from here, today we are celebrating Nityanand Trayodasi and Lord Jagannath's Brahmotsav, that is 1 year birthday. So everybody will quickly offer flowers. We will give you flower, and then meanwhile we will continue our Aarti. So, Prabhuji.
We can have it for 10 minutes only because it's late already. And as soon as you offer your flowers, those who are getting late, please go downstairs and take your prasadam and you can proceed. And those who also like to ask and discuss, you have time, then I also have time. That is okay. But those who are getting late, please, you can proceed for your engagements. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
So the way we will offer flower is there will be an achman. Everybody will do quickly achman. And we'll take the flower and then we'll do a small offering to the Lord. and then keep it in one of the plate.